Okay, top 3 myths about DEI. And forgive me, but my hair is a little wild, my edges are wild, my t-shirt is wholly on purpose. I feel like it's like the news, wild and on purpose, right? So the number one I will say is that DEI is just about quotas. It's absolutely not. A DEI strategy is a holistic strategy, just like a business strategy that allows you to make sure that everyone is having an equitable experience in the workplace. When companies use like arbitrary percentages, which they did in 2020. They started saying we're going to increase our female leadership to XYZ percentage. A lot of times that's arbitrary. So if you can't explain the number, don't use it. Companies, I'm just making sure, because also people can do math. So it goes back to me, we have not done enough with data analysis and population demographic data to allow us to actually understand what we're trying to move towards when we talk about numbers. So that's why I don't believe in quotas, because quotas to me don't necessarily move the needle. And especially if you hire a certain percentage of people, that doesn't mean they stay in the job. So you've got more work to do because they're not having an equitable experience, because they're leaving because you didn't do anything on retention. So move that out of the way. The second one is that DEI means that you are not qualified to do the job that you're hired for. We have a lot of those. They are not people of any marginalized background. So this is actually something that's really important to note. So think about a veteran who's been in, military service for 20 years, and they get out and they apply for a job. How a company translates that military experience to the job that they have open, if it's not specific same language, is DEI, right? Think about a person who's been running a business for 15, 20 years, and they apply for an executive role, but they say, you don't have an MBA from an Ivy League institution. That is DEI, because that's a strategy that allows us to remove a one-to-one language, apples to apples, in order to allow other groups of people to access an opportunity. So we're not being so narrow thinking in terms of like what we're looking for. Plenty of other examples what DEI has done. We're talking bereavement leave, we're talking parental leave, all of those different things. It's not just race and gender. I've talked about this many, many, many times before. So I also think that if we think about, DEI as a business strategy rather than a extracurricular activity, right? A lot of companies came out the gate in 2020 with DEI programs and hiring people who didn't necessarily have the skill set to make change within the business. If it's not connected to your business strategy in the workplace, then it's gonna fail, because the whole point of this is to make sure your people and your business are stronger. And so if you don't have a strategy that aligns to the business goals, bringing in new communities of people, being innovative, not having a homogenous group of people making sole decisions about your business strategy, those are all business 101 fails. So DEI helps with that. And if you're not using it as a strategy, then of course it's just going to go under. It's like, it's not an elective at college, or in high school. You just don't I'm going to take home ec. That's not what it is. It's supposed to actually make the business stronger and make people stronger. So if you're not using it that way, and if you aren't doing any research on it, you have executive orders that do massive sweeps and undo a lot of work, especially if you're listening to people. I won't say his name, but the former music video producer who is now director, who's now going after large companies with their DEI programs, who has never actually done any analysis. He's just a person with a platform who just goes through annual reports and attacks. That's the anti. I wish all of us could actually just bombard him. Actually, you know what? If there are some people out there who do great internet research, looking into that person to see what's going on over there would be a great service. The other part of it is we should also be more vocal about pushing back on these kinds of things. If somebody's going to be loud and get, a company to dismantle their DEI programs, we should be just as loud about them preserving them. Whether that's in emailing them, calling them, I don't know if a boycott works because I don't know how we do boycotts in the age of social media. Have to be a little more collective than that. But nonetheless, these are the core things you should walk away thinking about. It's not just race and gender.